Hello there, I'm Rafael di Furia, and you know what? Let's just get into the video.
At this moment, what I'm feeling about Palermo is I just love it here. There's something so genuine about it. It's really such a special place, and the flavor of it, and you can see everything, all the little cracks and crevices. It's something quite different, unique. It's its own special place within Italy that I haven't personally seen before. What little expectations I did have were completely blown away, and I would have never expected this city as it is. If someone were to ask me would I recommend coming here, I would absolutely have to say at some point in your life you have to come to Sicily. It is one of those places that is like nowhere else, and it has, the people here are so friendly, warm, and welcoming. Everywhere I go, people, hi, how are you? Getting into conversations. It's just been really interesting to connect and hear people's stories about where they're from and the special dishes that they enjoy. The funny thing is people have been telling me, oh, you're wearing a Sicilian hat, but like for me, this is just hat, the type of hat that I always wear. It's like, this is just Rafi, this is me. And people are like, oh, you're trying to be like a mafioso. And I'm like, no, this is just what I like. So far, my favorite place that I've been to has been Corso Vittorio Emanuele. And also just in general, like in Via Roma, in the center, it's live, it's hustling and bustling. There's so much to do and see, and lots of goodies to eat. The most important part of any trip, of course. I can say from my experience here that coming back to Palermo for sure is on the top of my list. I just really want to be able to spend time and really enjoy the city for what it is, because this trip was mostly a work trip for me. So I want to come back here as a tourist and really put myself out there and just get into the thick of it. Where I live up in Alto Adige, it's a very different feel. I mean, it's the mountains, the rivers, the lakes, the valleys, and the streams. But here, we're on the beach, and but even in Sicily, you have mountains all over the place. It's something that I completely didn't expect. I expected that Sicily was going to be a tropical island kind of feel, flat, and kind of just maybe some farmland here and there. But I mean, everywhere you go, as soon as you get outside of Palermo a little bit, especially on the drive to Corleone, you just see these rolling mountains everywhere, gorgeous, and the sun, the way that it hits them, and each little village has its own unique flavor. It's really something spectacular that video can't capture, photos can't capture. And even just me sitting here, I can't describe how beautiful this place really is.
Like I mentioned on Friday night, I wanted to upload something that was a little bit different that I had never uploaded before. And like I've mentioned in a number of my videos, and like I know most of you have probably gone through this year, that our plans for 2020 and how 2020 has gone probably don't match up. I know my 2020 was very different. And this was a video that I had somebody help me put together when I was back in Sicily. I was thinking ahead, trying to think of potential ways of maybe introducing different types of content to the channel. And I just happened to have the opportunity to make this happen. I happened to have an afternoon free right on my very last day there. The last night that I was there, which was right after all of this, there was a gelato festival in the city. And that was probably one of the most fun experiences I've ever had, because I went to, I don't know how many different places, and they had different gelato flavors from all over the world. And my absolute favorite one was this Japanese cherry blossom flavor that just was delicate and light and sweet and just absolutely amazing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But part of what my plan was for 2020 that I kept kind of talking about recently is that I wanted to try and do more videos like this. I had some opportunities lined up and some work that was lined up all around the country for this year. But due to the current situation, it all got canceled, and just not even postponed, but completely canceled. And so I had plans already through the beginning of next year for different places throughout the country where there was going to be some work opportunities. And in each of those places, my plan was to try and do something not exactly like this, but something along these lines, a little bit kind of in between my normal Friday night inside videos, but then also getting out and showing a bit more, because that's something I know a lot of you guys really enjoy. And especially at that point, I didn't have as much of an idea how much you guys like to see things out and about here in Italy. But as time has gone on, you guys have made that very clear. But unfortunately, of course, due to the situation, the ability and reality of doing that is not quite so possible at this moment. But anyway, so I figured that while we're all stuck inside right now, why not just share a little bit of the outside world and what we had, what was the world was before 2020, and for me personally, just this wonderful moment from my own life that it was really such a fantastic time and unique opportunity that I had. For those of you who remember, I was in Sicily doing some work, actually filming some promotional materials for a coffee company based in Texas. I'll try to put a video up to that in the corner here if I remember, if you're curious to see it all. And we did 3 videos in the end in Corleone. Yes, the Corleone, the one from The Godfather. Although the one that was used in The Godfather was not the same town that was actually the real town. They were a couple cities over. But anyway, yeah, this whole year I had this plan. I'm not going to go too much into detail because there are elements of this plan that I still feel as though could be possible at a later date. And beyond just the fun aspects of it, I was wanting to get into a lot more detail than I went into this video and actually share some helpful tips about traveling and these sorts of things. And I know there are a lot of people that would have enjoyed that, but that's something that's going to have to wait for a later point. And like I've said so many times, I do this because I love this project. I love being able to share these experiences and talk about life in Italy and talk about exploring Italy and share this information. So for now, this is what I want to put out, just a little taste of what's out there, because I know this is a tough time for all of us, and looking forward to those future times. And I don't know, for me, thinking about what's out there definitely helps me get through this all. It also makes it a little extra frustrating because I definitely have that travel bug right now. I would love to be going all around, because I prefer cooler weather. I know most people prefer the summer and warmer weather, but for me, this is my favorite time of year. And to be able to go explore all these places when they would be quiet or quieter anyway would be a dream. But this is the year that we've ended up in. But also on a serious note, it's been very interesting to me to see this video a couple years on and thinking about where we are now and how things have gone this year, and just how, wow, that video feels so normal and so natural. These moments being out in the streets and all these vendors around, nobody with masks, and not having to worry about getting close to people and not having to have these same preoccupations that we've had this year. It just feels so normal, but it also feels so foreign now in some kind of strange way, at least to me. And seeing that for myself and having found that and seeing it for the first time in a long time, it's almost like a breath of fresh air, remembering that time in my life and being in those moments, being on the water in Sicily, on the beach, in Palermo. I mean, a city that's like right on the water practically. Okay, fine, when you're in the downtown, you don't quite feel that beachy feel, but it's just a few minute walk away. But then now with having, like, if you've been following me on Instagram, if you're not already, be sure that you're following me there, at Rafael di Furia. And I shared something, I believe it was yesterday, Saturday, about what was going on, like these updates that are being shouted in the streets from these police vehicles. And it was the same thing that I experienced before the previous week, where they're just going by and going by and driving by. And I talked about this in my last Friday night video about how they go by so fast that it's sometimes tough to catch the messages. And basically, I've caught the message online and figured out what they were saying, but it's just continuing to tell what the situation is and what the updates are. And it's a very eerie feeling, because I was walking around my town where I live, and they passed by me 3 separate times within the space of a 15-minute period. And it just feels so strange. It's just so out of the norm that it's like feeling like you're in a war zone, but without war. I don't know how to explain it exactly. I've lived in a war zone before, and I've had rockets flying over my head. The only difference is that there's no air raid sirens this time around. It's this enemy of sorts that's all around, but you can't see it. You can't tangibly feel it, and you can't touch it. Okay, maybe theoretically you can touch it, but you don't feel it. But it is affecting so many people's lives, and the response to that situation. The world may not be at war, but there is that weird same kind of eerie feeling that I've had when I've been in those places before, that you know that there's something not safe out there, and that it's safer to stay home, that it's better to stay home, but you still have this desire to go do these things, but there are these limits in place that don't allow you to. I've been getting messages from you guys about understanding that I can't go out and film these sorts of videos, but really itching for those kinds of videos again. So I just happened to find this the other day. There was some reasons why I couldn't upload it for a while, but part of it was that I was wanting to wait and try to upload it as part of a larger project, which was this whole 2020 vision that I had in mind. But this is how it goes. And so just a little something in the meantime while we're all waiting for the world to get back to normal. I hope. Anyway, thank you again for joining me for another video. If you haven't caught my video from Friday night yet, be sure that you go and check that out. And of course, as always, a huge thank you to those of you who are patrons and help make videos like this possible. And thank you to those of you who've been purchasing shirts, mugs, posters, cell phone cases, and more through rafaeldifuria.com/NYAG gear. I do have a few new designs that are up there for this holiday season. So of course, if you're looking for some stocking stuffers, it's a great place to check out for that Italian lover in your life. Italy, enough said. Pizza, pasta, amore. That's it, I'm moving to Italy. Pizza. Just pizza. Framed on your wall. And of course, can we see it here? I don't know. Strict pizzatarian. Anyway, again, thank you all so much for supporting this channel. And I look forward to seeing you all on Friday. Later.